was a typo, and I'm like, welcome to Comics League Movie Night. I'm Jared, and today we're talking about Red Sonja.
I'm seeing red for all the wrong reasons.
Oh, yeah. I was seeing red this entire damn movie, especially her kid's sidekick. All right. Oh, my God. So, this movie, while this movie's not like in the same universe as the Conan movies, this is the reason why we didn't get any more Conan movies.
Yeah, because it was still connected, yes.
Yeah, so Red Sonja, hey, what's up, Cameron, is one of the characters created by Robert E. Howard in his, like, Conan universe.
Technically, here's the thing. Red Sonja, as she is spelled, and as we know of her, is not.
Okay, go on.
That is a Roy Thomas creation with the comics. There's a different type of Red Sonja spelled differently that it was created by Howard, but most people don't think about her because they think about the more popular Red Sonja.
Yeah, oh, okay, exactly. But it's like, so the whole concept of Red Sonja is a warrior woman who, when she was younger, her family was killed and she was violated. I say violated because I don't know how YouTube is going to react to this. And she is visited by a goddess, and the goddess says, no man will have you unless they defeat you in a fair fight. And I'm like, okay, that actually sounds pretty cool. So the first part of this movie that doesn't work is she's not in the metal bikini. Which it could be. Here's the thing. It could be they were going for the more Robert E. Howard Red Sonja.
Which is true.
So I'm like, I could get that. But at this point, when most people think of Red Sonja, what are they thinking of?
The bikini, yep.
Yeah, it's like that's her defining feature. It's also why the movie that we're going to talk about next week didn't work well.
Now, I'll say that. The comic version of it, she first appeared in 1973, so only 12 years.
Yeah.
And even then, let's be honest, she wasn't mainstream known by the public.
That's true.
Bikini or otherwise.
So this movie follows a lot of the trends of Conan the Destroyer, but the problem with it is like, so then, all right, so here's what happened. Sonja is supposed to like destroy this like amulet thing. So she meets like actually Conan, but not Conan because his name is not Conan. It's, I think, Kaladin or something like that.
Yep, definitely. He was brought in as a favor to Dino De Lorenzo.
Yeah, so as she's traveling, she meets this really annoying as hell basic kid sidekick who's like an ancient, well, not ancient. He's like a prince that's traveling down a road. And I'm like, as soon as that kid talks, I'm like, can you shut up? The minute I heard that kid, I have like, not since Trinity have I ever been hoping that a kid goes away. Like, what the hell is this? Again, this was in the era of Hollywood where every movie had a kid sidekick. That's
some good, some bad.
Some extremely bad in the case of this one. But the thing about this movie is so they also play off of the fact that like he has to beat her in order to sleep with her. But again, it just really just doesn't work well, I think.
By the way, this is directed by the guy who directed Conan the Destroyer.
That explains it. That definitely explains. The other thing about this movie is like it's the repeat of the same song over and over again in the soundtrack that it just really gets annoying.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, stop. But Robert, let me start with you. Your general thoughts of Red Sonja.
It is so 80s, but not in the good way.
Yeah, exactly. I would say it's the Wonder Woman 1984 of the Conan movies.
By the way, you want to know who played Tarn the Kid?
Who?
Ernie Reyes Jr.
Where do I know him from?
Surf Ninjas. He was Donatello in the suit actor for Donatello in Ninja Turtles, the first movie, and he was Kino, the pizza guy, in the second Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh, really?
Yep, Kino.
What?
That was Kino as a kid.
Keenan was an annoying kid. Oh my god.
Well, as Prince Tarn, he was annoying. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, I could see why, with the way this performed, if the Hollywood executives are like, "Nah, we're done with this." Because we were supposed to get a third Conan movie, right?
Yep.
And then this happened, and I'm just like, no.
And then this happened.
Yeah, because here's the thing. So Sonya is actually a very interesting character in general, like in the comics and stuff. So it's like, it seems that, and by the way, NJ asked, how popular is Red Sonja? Does she have an important place in Dynamite? Well, she's one of Dynamite's like flagship books, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, her and Vampirella. Yep, her and Vampirella are both.
Yeah, but it's like, in terms of mainstream, like, I wouldn't say she's like mainstream.
She's more recognized because of that bikini, and that's it.
Yeah, when the average person thinks about Red Sonja, they just think, oh, she's the woman in the chainmail bikini.
Either that or, oh, she's not Xena.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's the other thing. It's like when people talk about like Wonder Woman being a warrior, they'll either call her like essentially Red Sonja or Xena.
Yep.
And Kid Cameron goes, honestly, that's the only reason why I remember her. Yeah,
exactly. And her being one of the more prominent red-haired hero comic characters.
Yeah, I was about to say, is she really a hero? I would say she's more of an anti-hero.
That is very true. And to be fair, in the Marvel version of things, MJ is a descendant of her.
Really?
That was how they connected it.
Okay.
In the Marvel team up, Marvel team up issue with her and Spidey, that was the connection.
That is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But and the thing about Sonya is like, so here's the thing. Sonya is more of what people stereotypically think Wonder Woman is than Xena.
Oh yeah, because Xena is definitely more a heroic.
Yeah, and Xena is less of the warrior woman, like straight up, than Wonder Woman is. At least, I mean, than Sonya is. But with this one, no, Sonya is very like, so Sonya's basically a mercenary in this.
Yep. By the way, I should make clear with Xena. One thing I got my people with Xena, you do know she wasn't always the lesbian coded until the show started to end.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those occasions where, well, honestly, here's the thing. From what I kind of read, I think they're only calling it coded because people think it. Because people.
Well, no, well, yeah, and then they finally gave in towards the end.
I really see.
Well, they did.
Yeah, exactly. I see what they're going with there, but it's like.
I just want to make it clear but where Sonya completely straight.
Actually, I mean, Gail Simone tried to push that, but I think it's one of those occasions where they haven't referenced it at all either.
True, probably, because I think in the case of where she doesn't even have time for love.
Yeah, because Sonya never really does the closest she gets is Conan.
And even then, again, he already has his own love.
Yeah, it's like the only time they've ever really kissed, I would say, would be the Conan Red Sonja series that they did a while back, which was awesome, by the way.
And by the way, I should make it clear, the art and the Robert E. Howard Red Sonja wasn't even set in the same universe.
Okay, I see.
Or in the same lore as Conan.
Okay, that makes
sense. It was just similar to Conan.
Okay, that's
Marvel's the one who kind of brought them together to a degree.
Okay, I see. That makes sense.
Yep.
But it's so, and the thing about Sonya, it seems like she has bad luck when it comes to movies because I haven't watched the full new Red Sonja movie, but I haven't heard good things. Which we're gonna cover it next week, people, and we're gonna end with the Momoa Conan movie. So, but it's like, here's the thing. I don't think Sonja is a movie that you can do with modern Hollywood because, again, Robert, what's her defining feature?
The chainmail bikini.
It's like having, it's the equivalent of them doing a Captain America movie without the shield.
Let me put it this way. Now, here's one thing I could say. She doesn't have to be stacked.
No, it's not.
Curvy, but not stacked.
It's not like she has to be like a porn star or anything like that. No.
Yeah, but she has to fill out the bikini well.
Yeah, and she has to be
Which is the difference?
Yeah, she has to be hot because that's also part of her defining feature, right?
Because she uses it.
Yeah. Oh, she is one of those characters that she, in many ways, the way I would describe Red Sonja is a mix of Wonder Woman and Black Widow.
Yeah, and I'll say this. She is sooner to use her feminine wiles than Diana ever is.
Oh, because that's not really all that Diana is, exactly.
I didn't say that's all she is. I'm just simply saying that Diana, you have to have someone else push her to do it for her to even consider it.
Yeah, because Diana's not really the type to use her feminine wiles.
Even though she'd be effective at it.
Even though she'd be very effective at it, exactly.
But she's the type who doesn't even look at herself as, like, she doesn't focus on her. That's what they always applaud about Wonder Woman. And this is the way you know when a writer understands her. She will never look at herself in the mirror and just feel her figures out or anything like that. She just look at herself in the mirror and just be like, that's me.
Yeah,
she wouldn't be like, I'm hot or anything.
Yeah, and just is very, very effective. Yeah. Well, the other character that I think Sonja is more like, actually, Sonja in many ways is, as opposed to Wonder Woman, it's more of like what would happen if Emma Frost was merged with Black Widow, because that seductive like nature that Sonja leads into, that's very Emma Frost.
Yep.
And the figure, but it's like the thing is, again, it's like if modern Hollywood is at the type where they won't do like the metal bikini thing because they think it's objectifying, you're never gonna get a Red Sonja movie that is respected. I'm sorry, that's the way it's gonna be.
By the way, you know who else is in a lot of ways like Marvel kind of replaced, in a way, replaced Red Sonja with Shayna the She-Devil.
Oh yeah.
Those two are now. That's the one that Marvel owns fully.
Yeah, exactly. She's the one who hangs out with Kazar, right?
I believe so. I am double checking if that is the one.
I know that I think when Emma and Scott went to the Savage Land for a vacation, they hung out with Kazar and.
Yep, it's Shayna. Yep, it's Shauna or Shayna, whichever.
Yeah, she was the one that in Secret Invasion, when Spider-Man was like, I'm not a Skrull, I swear. She goes, how do I know? If I were a Skrull, why would I be Spider-Man? And I'm like, that is so true. I love that.
Yeah, those two are definitely married, yeah. Even though they have also done series with her alone.
Yeah, but it's like that I think in many ways that is like what they tried to do.
Yep, exactly.
Which, hey, that 100% works. But I think it's like that's the problem with Red Sonja, is that Hollywood refuses to write characters that use their sexuality as a weapon.
Very much so, because you have so many either producers or whatever be like, oh, outrage.
Well, the other thing, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, it's like even in the newer movie, they have her in the bikini once, but it's like I
feel like that was that more of an obligation that the Red Sonja company put them up to.
Yeah, but then they had her in like a less flattering outfit the entire other movie.
You want to bet that was something they had to enforce?
Yeah. Oh, 110%.
Because yeah, that is crazy. Cause yeah, remember, she's not owned by the Howard estate. She's owned by the Red Sonja Unlimited.
Yeah, exactly. Which and it's one of those things where Red Sonja definitely has a fan base. It's not like she's like I wouldn't say she's a D-list character. I think C-list, exactly. So I was about to say C-list is definitely where
she's above Shauna. I would say she's definitely above Shauna. Oh yeah,
Shauna's like a D, I would say.
Because I'll be honest, Shauna's too affiliate with Kazar. The only time Shauna isn't is when Frank Cho drew her in her mini.
Yeah, exactly. And but the other thing about Sonja is like, now here's the thing. Of a character that I really like if like put it this way, I would like to see if they do more crossovers, because here's the thing. As much as I enjoyed Boss Battle, and I understand it wasn't entirely up to Jeremy Adams how long each of these fights is going to be, I wish they had gone a little longer with it.
True.
But he had to fit in all these other characters. That's why I forgave that so much, because I'm like, there's not much he could do.
Right.
But it's like the thing about Sonja, and even NJ asked about it when we reviewed the issue. It's like, the thing about Red Sonja is that she is like one of the best warriors, though. So of the warrior and sword people characters, she is like one of the most effective. So it's like, with Sonja battling Wonder Woman for like the first, like, let's say half hour of the fight, when Wonder Woman's trying to size up Sonja, it's very realistic that they would like actually have like a drawn out fight.
By the way, I just found out. Okay, here's something interesting when it comes to Red Sonja. Marvel could not say they owned her character, because at the time it was considered part of part of the Howard estate originally. But then Roy Thomas was able to argue afterwards, after Marvel lost the rights, no, it's a separate character, and eventually it was agreed upon, and the Howards no longer owned it.
Really? So that's how Sonja ended up the way she did.
Because originally it was claimed and Marvel couldn't claim it, and then Roy was able to say, no, I created her. She was and she was not derivative.
Yeah, and NJ as Sonja does not have powers, right? No, she has an insane amount of skill, and she has used magic before in the comics, but she's very much like a regular human woman.
Now, she does have a ferocity that can increase her speed, kind of like when Diana said she rarely dealt with someone as fast as her.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, okay, because on the surface, Wonder Woman should wipe the floor with Sonja instantly. However, when you take into account the other feats that this character has done, it's like, okay, it's realistic. Plus, Diana's going to hold back against her.
Not only that, though, but let's be honest, Diana only does her incredible speed feats when needed in extreme situations.
Yeah, exactly. It's
like they bring up the Shattered God thing. That's not something she does on the regular.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, again with Diana, like people say sword and shield or lasso. It depends on what she's doing.
I prefer that. There was a brief time where it was just sword and shield.
Oh yeah, and I hate that as well. And by the way, NJ says, no, I know that. It just depends on the threat. You're making our point for us, NJ. If she's facing insanely powerful threats like Kryptonians or Eobard or Doomsday, yeah, she's gonna let loose.
Exactly. But even that, but against someone like Sonja, she wouldn't even consider going all out until the fight went on. But again, as I theorize, that whole fight was short in universe, like a good couple minutes.
Yeah, I don't think it lasted very long at all.
I would say 30 minutes tops.
Now, I still say Wonder Woman would win even if she was holding back and not using her powers.
But yeah, if you notice, no one got a decisive victory except for the Mortal Kombat characters.
And in many ways, I bet that's so they didn't piss off the rights holder of the other characters.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was probably an agreement. Yeah, and I bet you that's why even Archie said we'll include her, but does she really have to fight for Sabrina?
Yeah, exactly. I'll give you that.
Because that's clearly, because you notice, she never even tried to fight. It's like, I bet you they said, oh, she'll be involved, but does she really have to fight? No? Okay, don't have her fight then.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like...
I doubt they ordered her not to fight. I bet you it was the case they asked, does she have to?
Yeah, I'm sure they were like, she can fight, that's fine, but can you find a way maybe she doesn't have to? And it's like, okay, fine.
Because that doesn't match her character.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, all right. And plus, it was hilarious when it did happen.
Exactly. Like she accidentally hit her, and it's like, oops, sorry.
Yeah, but again, it's like when you have like I am glad. Let me put it this way: I'm just glad we got a Wonder Woman fighting Red Sonja thing. That was cool.
I'm still annoyed about how Vampirella got the short shift out of everyone.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was gonna be longer.
She got out of everyone. She got one little portion and then a brief portion during the whole group up. Even Samantha Strong got more page time than she did.
Considering the fact also Vampirella was like one of the first crossover characters announced.
Exactly.
So I'm like, what are you doing?
My guess is she was the one that suffered when they added more.
Yeah, I would say that because it definitely seems like stuff was cut.
And you know, it was the MK. Of course, the MK one got the biggest amount because of that.
Yeah, because
Because it was the safest.
Yeah, Warner Bros. Owns those characters.
Even though they had to put NetherRealm on the front just to emphasize it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, all right, but it is. And one thing I did like, I like that none of them got a definitive ending. So it's like, see, here's the thing, because Stan Lee has said once that the reason why he never gave a definitive winner whenever two superheroes fight, he goes, no, so the fans can debate that.
Not only that, even Gail Simone made a good point once. The fight is not what people really tune in for. It's everything leading up to and everything after.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, she's right, because anytime anything else, the fight is just the same. It's just a fight. It's just a brawl.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, because that's the story. The fight, the fight itself is just a plot point.
Exactly. The real story is everything that leads up and everything that happens after.
Which is why, again, when people were complaining that like the BVS Batman Superman fight was too long, I go, first off, have you seen how short the Batman Superman fight in Dark Knight Returns is? Number one. Number two, to that point, it's like the story of just the fight. It's the beginning, the fight kind of part, and then the aftermath.
Exactly. Hey, tell me you got it. You're agreeing with Gail Simone on.
Yeah. She's very right. I'll admit that she is 100% right on that, because that is
exactly.
Because here's the thing: ultimately, people don't talk about the fights after they happened.
Exactly.
So it's like that's the other part. Again, credit I gave to Jeremy Adams. It's like, yeah, you didn't give a definitive ending because that's not what people are going to care about.
Exactly. Again, the only one that got definitive ending was the Mortal Kombat characters, and even then, they just got defeated.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, that works for me.
But
it's like, but back to Red Sonja. The other thing about it is,
here's a line I love from Diana to that. Mm-hmm. Your abilities match even the greatest of my Amazon sisters. To which she said, "You're a fine fighter yourself, princess, but to survive in the world of men, you need to be better. I've survived worse than men, Crimson One, and I will fight until my dying breath. Yield! Red Sonja yields to no one." I love that. Basically, it's Diana saying Red Sonja would be one of, if not the greatest Amazon if she was one.
Yeah, she would definitely be an Amazon. By Punctuate says, I like the Sonja Reborn comic by Christopher Priest. Yeah, I'm enjoying that very much so. So Priest is doing a series where this woman is transported to Hyboria, but it turns out she is Red Sonja. She just doesn't know it.
But by the way, here's a big question. You remove Diana's gifts, all of her powers from the god, and just have her Amazonian skills.
Diana wins.
All right.
It would be a close fight. It's not going to be a stomping. I still think Diana would win.
All right.
Because she still has now granted, her and Sonja both have insane experiences in their battles and travels. I still think Diana outweighs it. How about you?
I would agree, but I would say this: Red Sonja would be second to Diana in any regard. If she was an Amazon, she would be second to Diana.
In fact, let's say that DC bought Red Sonja and integrated her into the canon and into the history of Wonder Woman. I could see her being that one Amazon that was always rivaling Diana. Like, she came in second place in the contest.
That's true.
So that's like that's the way I could definitely see like DC going if they wanted to really integrate her into canon. And here's the thing: of the two, I think Sonya could fit in really well with DC canon.
Oh yeah, a lot more than say Vampirella, for example.
Oh, Vampirella, I would say if I had to pick between the big two, she's more Marvel.
Yep, she is definitely more Marvel, especially after everything Priest has put her through.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy.
But it's like, but the other thing is like Vampirella, the other face of Dynamite, also known for wearing a very sexually explicit costume.
Yep, I forgot she had her own movie.
Did she?
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Oh God.
In '96.
Okay.
Oh God. Oh God. I'm
This
looking at
looks
the
like
poster.
this is like a bad parody. Oh my gosh, this looks like a bad parody. I'm not going to show it because I don't know if YouTube is going to ding me. But
oh my God, the actress who played her, it was Katana from the MK movies.
Oh no!
She's good, but Vampirella, she ain't.
Yeah, NJ says DC should consider. Well, here's the thing, NJ. Why would it's like there has to be a financially big like gain for it. I mean, if DC wanted to, I wouldn't be very opposed to it. But I still prefer her being alone because here's what would likely happen. Even if they bought her, yes, they could have a story where Sonya interacts with Wonder Woman. They would probably still keep her in like her own world.
Well, here's the big thing you also have to remember. Dynamite owns Vampirella. They don't own Red Sonja.
Yeah.
Because, again, it's a different, where again, you have the Red Sonja Limited or whatever the company is. They're the ones who own it. And I'm sorry, DC or Warner Brothers are not going to foot the bill for that. Look how much it took Embracer to buy up Lord of the Rings.
So, Robert, you could say that's quite a milestone.
Yeah.
It's a similar scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm like if they don't necessarily.
And the other thing, people forget DC. Again, as we said before, DC doesn't own Milestone, and they have no interest to buy them either.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, why would DC? Does DC have like even a yeah? Because here's the thing. Because those characters don't sell well, it's like, why would they buy them?
Yeah, it's better to just publish.
Yeah,
and include them.
Yeah, that's the way that works. And it's like, I'm sorry, it's like that's the way it's gotta be.
They try telling that all those idiots online.
Oh, dude, trust me.
Free milestone, they're already free.
The minute I see people say free milestone, that is instantly when I lose respect for your argument. And Tevya asked, why did Red Sonja bomb? A lot of reasons.
Not good. It wasn't good.
Yeah, it just wasn't a good movie.
And I bet you with the reason Red Sonja, people felt cheated. Like they knew what they were doing with the marketing. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, exactly. They definitely did.
Make people think that she's going to be that out for the whole movie, then pull the rug out.
Oh yeah, exactly. And it's like even in the original movie, it's like still, but it's like.
Well, this one just felt like beyond the laws of diminishing returns for the Conan franchise.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's like, because you have to understand the world that we're in at this point. Conan the Destroyer just came out.
Now I'll say this: with Bridget Nielsen, bad.
Horrible as Sonya.
Here's the funny thing is, she was brought in and Dino Lorenzo took most of the pre-production time trying to find someone Amazonian enough. So she was the last ditch pick.
Yeah, I'll
because of her on a cover of a magazine. He's like, that's her.
And then Tevya asked if this was a case of studio interference.
Nope.
It was just a bad movie.
For the original one, for the later one, who can say?
Yeah, exactly. And they haven't been very like vocal about if there were studio interference. I know that the other one, that the newer one, was like in production hell for a while though.
Yep. The only other Red Sonja quote unquote movie is the animated comic from one of Gail Simone's run.
Which was really good. I watched it. I really enjoyed
I know
it.
you had Misty Lee voicing Red Sonja. Perfect choice.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
It's
Paul
like,
Dini's wife.
yeah, exactly. But it's like the problem with this, it's like, see, here's the problem that Hollywood runs into dealing with these very like big character with these very like female warrior characters. It goes in one of two ways. Number one, they make them unrealistic, or number two, they make them just the female dog word. Have you noticed that, Robert?
Yep. They're too perfect. There's no flaws to them whatsoever, or they're other B words.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I get this. Like, they realize that I get they're trying to do like empowered females, but that's not how you do empowerment. That's how you turn people off.
But in their eyes, that's empowering. They still think that. I'll be honest. You know what somebody found out as an example of the perfect female character who does no wrong? And I'm just like, it goes that far back? The UK Sonic comic, the Fleetway series. Apparently, one of the editors in charge of that comic had told the main writers they wanted, who was writing Amy as being someone who has flaws. They said, no, she has to be a role model. And everything was saying how basically she's now she's the leader of the freedom fighters. Sally Member's an American character, not and so it wouldn't apply here. And that everything about her should be, and the writer even said, no, she has to have flaws, not have everything going for her because she's female.
Yeah, it's like, look at Wonder Woman. She has flaws. Not a lot of them, but she has flaws. And Jay says the walking contradiction Tom King speaks of. Well, yeah, that's the other thing. It's like,
I mean, I'm not saying King is 100% wrong.
Well, here's the thing. I am saying that because here's the thing. That gives that tells me that someone only has a very surface level understanding of Diana. Because she's not if you actually know the character.
Oh, no. If you actually know the character, I'm just saying, no, when you're trying to actually plan out stories and everything, it's trying to find that balance that's difficult.
Well, here's the thing. Because so let's address that. The thing about King is because, as according to you, he wrote a good Superman story.
Yep.
Here's the thing about Wonder Woman. If you approach writing her like you do Superman to a degree, you should be good, because many ways, in terms of her positivity and hope character, she is like Superman. But the problem is, too many writers want to lean in on her being a warrior too much, and that doesn't work. It's like, let me put it this way. Sonja is the type of person that would make the Sovereign carve liar onto his chest.
Right. And here's something else. When it comes to what's Wonder Woman, it just wasn't a problem, I feel, until Xena.
Yeah, I would say so.
I would say until Xena, most people just treated her like, until Xena, most people treated her as female Superman, just from the Amazons.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, the minute Xena comes on and everyone's like, oh, just make her like Xena.
But even then, no, it wasn't that bad. I'll be honest, the worst was New 52.
Azarella run, yeah, I agree with you on
That's when it got to it, and what Jeff Johns set up as her status quo. I think that's when it got worse. Beforehand, it was enough. People just thought, treat her like Xena. Okay, we'll treat her like Xena. But if you notice, most people didn't really go do anything there. The contradiction wasn't until New 52.
Yeah, the minute that Jeff has Sonja, I almost said Sonja, Wonder Woman say that
there's a reason they don't have a rogues gallery.
Yeah, exactly. The minute they do that, I'm like, no. That's when I'm like, okay, it's, or like where Jeff had Diana say, yeah, it's like, you've been a lot of things, but you've never been human.
Oh, again.
What? That's the sad part, because literally the man has nailed every DC character except one.
Yeah, but again, he's not as bad as others.
No. He's not as bad as others, but it's like, it's very glaring.
Yep, and I'll say this. I think in his eyes, because she never had, you know what I think it was when it looks back at it? What did pre-crisis, what did Earth's 2 Wonder Woman have that post-crisis Wonder Woman did not?
Are you talking about a new 52?
No. Going back to Infinite Crisis, when that statement was said.
Was it like she was married to Steve?
Close. One had a secret identity, the other one did not.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what Jeff was trying to go for.
But here's the thing.
He was playing off of the Superman viewpoint of you need that secret identity to be able to mix it with humanity. And that's where he lost it.
Well, here's how stupid it is. She was a fry cook.
Exactly. That's when Cara pointed that out.
And she didn't see it as beneath her. I'm like, what are you doing?
Again, I think Jeff was judging things. Remember, Jeff is a fan of the Silver Age.
Oh, yeah. That's why he brought back Barry and Hal.
Exactly. I think for him, I don't think he read much of post-crisis as much because he never needed to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because he wasn't writing Wonder Woman. So, of course, why would he?
Exactly. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, like he was lazy. It was just a case of why would he?
Yeah, exactly. He had no reason to. So it's not like even if he's reading Justice League, he doesn't have to read all the runs of all the characters.
Exactly. And like I said, I'm pretty sure he read up enough to be able to find all the stuff he needed. But for Diana, she was just a footnote in the greater scheme of Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, and Jeff is the writer where I think if he were assigned to write Wonder Woman, I think at the very least he would read.
Exactly. And I think he would have done a lot better if he had ever written her beforehand.
Oh, yeah, because here's the thing. Again, here's why Jeff Johns nailed every other character he's ever written, because he's read them and written them before, like solo books.
Now, here's something else, though. Some people will say that he has a hatred for Batman because he has Batman always get punched or looked down upon.
Well, maybe it's also because he has the hatred of Bat God.
That, too.
That could be it, where he's like...
Or he doesn't like Batman being just such a jerk.
That it could be any of those reasons. So I don't think he hates Batman. I think it's more like he hates the way some people treat Batman.
So he decides to just take it down a peg.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
I respect that.
Yeah, because again, it's like what Jeffrey Thorne said about Hal Jordan. He doesn't like Hal. He's not going to ruin Hal if he wrote him, like some people accused him of.
I know, and he didn't.
Yeah, he wrote him well. He wanted again. It's like with Mark Waid and doing The Marriage. It's like, give me stuff said in the past. Now, if he does stuff in the present, he'll try to avoid it. But if it works for the story, he'll represent. Like when you had the world's finest past versus Superman and Batman show up. Of course, he's going to have Superman see Superwoman Lois and be like, "What is going on here?"
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on. Even if you were writing it, dude, you'd have done that too, right? If you had that moment to play with, you'd reference that too, because if they have Superman be like, "What happened?"
Yeah, exactly. And then Cameron asks, I can't fault him for liking the Silver Age, because if he didn't, we probably would not have gotten Hal and Barry back. That is very true. So let's be fair about that.
Yeah, now,
a strong female. Yeah, go ahead.
But Hal made sense because he got screwed. Did Barry really ever need to come back?
Yeah, exactly. Parker says, is Red Sonja still in the Conan universe or world?
Never was. Never was.
Never was. They crossed over, but it's never like she was in there.
Even the original version of Red Sonja that the Howard Estate does own was never part of the Conan universe.
And then Tavia says, speaking of strong female characters, if you want a good example of a strong female character, I recommend watching Jujutsu Kaisen where Maki. Yeah, okay, that works.
No idea what that is.
Yeah, me neither. Cameron says, any reason to destroy Batgirl is an A+ in my book. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, look, if you're doing that, because Batman gets like glazed too many times. If someone has Batman being punched in the face a lot, I'm like, okay, you know what?
Hey, that's part of the reason why but notice, even when Jeff did Batman Earth 1, he decided to start Batman really low, but by the end of it, he is, well, not Batgirl, he is the Batman we fully know.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Robert, another person made a really stupid statement about Scott Snyder and the diverse stuff.
Oh no!
This
What?
person says, I'm sure Scott Snyder could have approached writers like Stephanie Williams, who expressed interest in writing Vixen, or Brandon Thomas or Vita Ayala, who expressed interest in writing Jace Fox, Duke Thomas. He didn't have to stop with the black writer who wanted.
We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know. Again, these are just the series that we know of now.
And again, clearly, we're having Stephanie Williams writing those 2 issues of Wonder Woman. Clearly, they're talking.
Yeah, NJ says most of these writers are Silver Age fans, and sadly, this era Wonder Woman was not good, or simply male readers are not interested in female heroes. I would say male readers are not interested in female heroes. I'm going to push back on you right there.
I will say that, but I will also say, let's be honest, save for her in the white suit. There again, until Perez, Wonder Woman never had a defining run, ever.
Except for Perez.
I said until Perez.
Oh yeah, until Perez. Yeah, there was no.
There was never.
It's not like you can point to because Batman, Superman. You can point to any of
the Danny O'Neill or the Julius either a writer or an editor. You could point to.
Until Perez, there wasn't that with Wonder Woman.
Except for the white suit, and that's for the wrong reasons.
That's for the very wrong reasons, exactly.
But that is one thing I've always said. Wonder Woman wasted the fertile years of the Silver Age. She really did. The fertile years of the Silver Age that expanded the lores of Superman and Batman were wasted on her. I think if you look back at release times, she was the one that more likely had gaps between issues. As far as months, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas Superman, Batman were constantly monthly.
Yeah.
There's a reason why she's so far behind, number-wise.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, so NJ says, okay, I already highlighted that. And then Tevia asked, that reminds me, is Red Sonja and She-Ra in the same situation with Rice?
What, She-Ra? Okay, no. She-Ra is a case of Mattel choosing to have them be separated when Netflix wanted the one series. It's kind of like with Godzilla, Toho. They will give rights to each character. Mattel did the same thing. They gave the rights to She-Ra for the Netflix series, but none of the He-Man characters.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's not really much to fight. It's like the bad embargoes.
Yeah, exactly. And by Cameron, yes, after the Red Sonja 87 movie, there wasn't another Conan or anything like that afterwards until like the Momoa.
Arnold's been trying. He's been trying.
Yeah, he's been trying, but it's like
he's been wanting to do King Conan for years.
Yeah, but it's like this movie shattered the confidence in the IP.
It really did.
And then Tavia says, if you want a recent character to strong female character.
You already said that. You already did that.
No. He did another one. He just copy and pasted. He's strong female, but also has flaws. Sonic the Hedgehog franchise with Tangle and Whisper.
Yeah. That's bringing up the IDW comics are canon to the games, and you have people complaining about that.
Oh, really?
But it's the official stance. The IDW comics are canon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. I always thought they were.
What was everybody say? Archie was never canon.
Okay, that makes sense.
Archie was never. IDW, from the get-go, has been stated to be canon. Now I'll say Sonic and the Sonic DC crossover, not canon.
Oh, yeah, 100%. By the way, Cameron says, despite Perez literally being a blueprint, they should have gotten into their heads. Okay, so she can sell. Let's see what else she can do. They tried to do that. It's just too many writers have done stuff like Amazon's Attack.
Exactly. Well, here's the other thing. I'll be honest. Can I be brutally honest, dude? And I don't. Please do not take offense to what I'm about to say. While Diana, you can come up with many stories, it's not as open to bigger stories without drastically changing things as Superman, Batman are.
What do you mean?
What I mean is, for example, with Emma and with Diana, I do think she's more limited by the Greek, the Amazons, the Greek gods, and everything. Whereas with Superman and Batman, they don't have as much of a limit to it because they have either Batman's and gossip, but he has all these villains. Superman, he has the whole world to be protecting. Diana, either her being an ambassador or her being the warrior.
can kind of see where you're coming from
you
on
need
that.
someone to actually take her and write her as a superhero. And she hasn't been a full superhero in ages.
I would say since post-crisis, and that's my whole thing when I say reboot Wonder Woman. I don't necessarily mean reboot the story. What I mean is reboot the way you approach the character, because again, in post-crisis, when everyone admits that was the peak Wonder Woman, they wrote her like a superhero, to your point.
Exactly.
Even
And I
had her
think
own fortress.
exactly. And I think people have forgotten that. I think that's the other step I realized. Her being made an ambassador, while good in many ways, limited her as well.
Okay, in what way?
Because again, as an ambassador, there's certain things she couldn't do. And look at what happened when she had to eventually kill Max Lord. She lost everything.
Now, okay, the only point of disagreement I will say about all this is, yes, it's limited, but that's in the case of you just need to have the right writer and
That's true.
And enforce this is how you're supposed to write the character.
Okay, and that is very true. And that's the other thing is you need someone who could actually think about that. And that is the other problem. It's again, now it also goes back to the whole Wonder Woman having an event. Can we all be honest? That is hard to do without making it War of the Gods 2.0.
Yeah, because the problem when it comes to like Wonder Woman is, let me put it this way. If you want an actual event like spanning DC event, that's a lot you gotta go into.
Yeah. If anyone was to do an event, they'd have to create a new pantheon of villains to build up to it.
Or
like the Dark Gods that they introduced after No Justice, great potential, they squandered it.
Or they need to position her already existing roles, because you could do that with like Kale and Cersei and Grail and all these other villains that you could work with.
Yeah, but here's the thing when it comes to, say, well, again, with Cersei, she's better as a manipulator, and what did we get? Amazon's attack.
That's true. But again, that's the case if you just have a shitty writer.
Mm-hmm.
But Cameron asked, do you think she needs her own SETI?
I think she does. Tying her to Washington has always been a problem, too.
Yeah.
Washington, D.C., I should say. Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I would say give her her own, because at the very least, you can do a Wonder Woman story where she just protects that small area.
Because to be honest, she has been tied to D.C. in the rare times people actually have had her stationed somewhere.
No, it's been also Boston.
Or Boston, that's true. That area. That area, yes.
Yeah, and Barry, so Tavia says, I thought the reboot Conan the Barbarian movie killed the French in 2012. We're talking about in this time period, the Arnold Conan movies is what we're talking about, Tavia.
Yeah, and let's be honest, that movie didn't really kill the French so much as it just obviously didn't do well enough to do anything further.
It didn't restart the franchise, because it was intended to restart the franchise.
Well, a new take on the franchise, but yeah.
But that's the point there. But it's like it didn't do well enough to restart. But it's like the point is about, do you think Wonder Woman needs new villains or just expand her side characters? I would see. Here's the thing, Robert. I don't think she needs any new characters associated with her. I think the problem is, again, to our point earlier, they keep putting writers on her that don't know how to use her existing lore. Or they refuse to. Like, again, you shouldn't have, like, when Batman has to show up in her run, or Lex Luthor instead of, like, hey, Veronica Cale or something like that. Like, if you're trying to drag in characters from other stuff that you clearly rather be writing, that's a problem.
Now, that's true. Now, what my point was, at least when it comes to events, yeah. She doesn't really have, that's outside of the gods, because, again, that will just lead to War of the Gods 2.0. She does, and again, Cersei, strong as Cersei is, she is not someone that can handle a universe or line-wide event on her own without her just manipulating someone else.
Now, what you could do, let me put it this way: if I were doing an event, I would make it where it is a Cersei event, but she's teaming up with Veronica Cale to make Veronica Cale like the outside, like the Force. So that's what, again, it just takes someone that understands how to write these characters, because if you do it right, you can have that integration. Just again, there's not a lot of DC writers, and here's the thing, that's why I wouldn't be opposed to Stephanie Williams writing Wonder Woman if she wants to, because here's the thing, she has experience writing the IP.
That is true. That is true.
And Tevia says, personally, if I were Hollywood, I would pull the trigger on it. Yeah, but Tevia, it's not that simple. You can't just green light stuff.
Again, it goes back to what we were saying with Milestone. It's a business first.
Yeah, and if the franchise does not have a good track record, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter.
You need someone who can actually be willing up to do it. And I'm sorry, I think Red Sonja's the movie failure is going to hurt things even more. Yeah, maybe not for Conan, but for herself.
Yeah, and then Cersei can warp reality itself with Hecate's power. NJ, Robert's point is, at least the way I understand it, Robert, and you can correct me if I'm not, it's not that Cersei isn't powerful, it's just the way writers have used her.
Yeah, exactly. It's the way writers have, and what fits her character. I'm sorry, she does never, ever come across to me as someone to be like, come to me, DC Universe, and fight me, or whatever, or I'm going to take over the world so directly. She's the person who would be behind the scenes manipulating everything to get her way, because that's the type of villain she is.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the way they've kind of used her. Now, could they change that? Sure, but you need a writer that's willing to do that.
Willing to do it and come up with a good reason behind execution of it. Otherwise, she's Cersei in name only.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very complicated. And Dave says, have you watched the new Red Sonja? We're going to do it next week for sure, but I'm a little nervous about it. I've watched part of it, and I didn't enjoy what I saw so far. But
you know what? I just realized, one villain could be a good threat if someone overhauled her.
Okay, who?
That one woman from Legends of Wonder Woman. Because she had the one from the other dimension.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember.
Exactly hold on. Let me look it up. I'm looking it up. Oh, come on. Oh, where is it? Mm-hmm. They keep on showing me the other mini.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on. I'm trying to find a summary of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, duh. Okay, I'm on the wiki. Atamia. Because she has her own army and everything.
You could do that. Having Arnold play legally distinct Conan in this movie was such an odd choice. Yeah, it was a favor. Again, it was a favor.
It was a favor to Dino. But like I said, though, I think Atamia could, because she has her own army and everything.
Or honestly, you could do like Cersei turning everyone into like beast forms and people.
True.
Or Grail.
Unfortunately, Grail, like we've said before, has become pretty much just like Calabac.
I know, which is dumb as hell. But NJ says, can Adams write a Wonder Woman event with Cersei? Like this way, Adams could 100. And by here's the thing: the Witching Hour wasn't really an event. When Robert and I say event, we don't mean story arc. We mean a line-wide, like absolute power-like event.
Well, yeah, what you're describing is more of a Bat Family event, where it's a crossover across different titles.
Yeah, because it was a crossover between Justice League Dark and Wonder Woman.
With 2 specials, bridging it up.
But it's a great storyline. But
I call that a mini event. That's a mini event.
Yeah. Now, can Adams write? Adams can. Now, here's the thing. I don't think Adams has ever written an event, like a main event.
He was involved heavily with War on Earth 3, but even then, that was more so than he intended. He even told me that once. He originally was just doing one issue, and he kind of got roped into doing more of it, but it was never something he planned out.
Yeah, so, but does he have the capacity? Yeah, 100%. I think that he could, if given the opportunity. I've long said he should be able to do that. And Superman Doomed Could you count Superman Doom as an event?
Yes, I think given how many issues involved, it is.
The fact that it's this thick, hang on. The fact that it has all of this.
Yeah. Now, granted, it's still again the phrase the Bat Family event, where again it's just across that line of books.
Oh yeah, and Wonder Woman was included in that, so I guess that would.
So what Superman Wonder Woman was, that's still more considered a Superman book, not a Wonder Woman book.
Oh yeah, because there wasn't like a Justice League tie-in or a Batman tie-in or something. It was
Superman,
Supergirl, and Action Comics, and Superman.
Yep, and only one or two issues of Superman before it went to the Jeff Johns stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the point. It's like if you have Wonder Woman, so I will say Wonder Woman needs a line-wide event. That's one of the things that would drastically help her as a character, because then you get more people exposed to her world. Like you get the Bat people if there's a Batman tie-in.
Yep, but like I said, thinking one that could be line-wide that wouldn't, again, not involving the gods.
Now you could involve the gods, but obviously that's another thing. But the point is, if you figure out the villain to do it, because again, to Robert's point, it has to be a very specific villain. It has to be. You have to be very selective on who you do. You can't just say any villain could do it.
Because even your idea about having Cersei and Veronica Kale, what would be the thing that would get the whole world involved, and how could they be able to prevent the others getting going after them and taking them down?
Yeah, and by the way, Tevia, Trial of the Amazons again was more of a Bat Family event.
Yeah, it's just like Doom. It was just within the Wonder Books.
Yeah, exactly.
But even then, no, that is though. But to be fair, that is also the second event Wonder Woman's ever really had.
Then the first one. Let me put it this way. The reason
why third one, Amazon Attack would count.
Yeah, the reason why now isn't it kind of funny? The second Amazon's Attack is the best one.
Yep, which Stephanie Williams referenced.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I'm not like as opposed to Amazons as some people are, but it's not my favorite. My favorite Wonder Woman event is the second Amazon's Attack for the pure entertainment value alone of hearing Cassie yell "secret entrance."
Yep, but
not alone. But that's how you give a character a catchphrase.
Yep, but yeah. Let's be honest. That second was just to me. The first one technically was an event because it had tie-ins, and it wasn't just the Wonder Woman books.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Supergirl and Teen Titans also tied in.
No, again, Tevia, Cyber and Psycho are not villains that could do a line wide, and Medusa.
No. You know what? One I take going back to Cersei.
I think Robert just had an idea.
Hecate decides enough's enough and decides to take over Cersei herself and decides to make a move.
Hecate could do it. Hecate is the villain that I think, okay, you know what? She could do a line wide.
She can do a line wide. Cersei herself, no.
Because if she's even NJ says that Cersei is more powerful with Hecate's powers. If it's augmented, and maybe you can do it where like Cersei's like being piloted by Hecate, like in the Witching Hour.
Yeah, Hecate on her own can do that. Cersei has shown many times that's just not her wheelhouse.
Yeah, so if you do that, that's how you. So here's the thing. That's my point, Robert. It's possible to do it. You just need to have someone that understands enough of Wonder Woman's lore. The problem is very few DC creators working now do.
And here's the other thing also, you need someone that would get the other writers or editorial teams to agree to join in.
Yeah. Now, we're not saying that a line-wide event has to involve every book. Because there are some, like let me put it this way, with KO, there's no Tom King tie-in, thank Christ. But you know what I mean. But what we're saying to make it a line-wide event, it just has to involve one other book, not in the line, not in the family of books that the character belongs to.
Exactly.
It could literally be just Wonder Woman and then Superman.
Yep.
It would count as an event.
Exactly.
But it's like if you do now, that's all you need. You can even do that to keep it very like small scale and stuff, and then just roll with that. But that's what Wonder Woman needs. If she gets that, then you know what? Then more people are exposed to Wonder Woman. Her sales start to increase, and you know what that could lead to, Robert?
Another spinoff or another secondary book.
Yes, exactly. Her getting her own action or detective comic. So there is a pathway where this happens. You just need to get more eyes on the Wonder Woman book. Now
here's the other thing though as well. I just came up with the villain. Why, the how, the why, everything. That's the more challenging part now.
Yeah, exactly. Now, and NJ says James Tynion can do what he clearly cares about.
He has no more interest in mainline superheroes.
Yeah, when I say current DC creators could do it, let me put it this way, the current ones that want to. I think Adams could because he does the research he's like, if he was assigned to write Wonder Woman, he would do the research to ensure that he's understood.
He would follow the Jeff Johns route. That's what he always does.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, look, now again, at this point, you just need someone. No, he didn't leave, Tavia. He didn't leave.
Wait, what? Who left?
He says, why did he leave? I think he's talking about James Tynion. He didn't
leave. No.
Tynion
just decided to focus more on creative own. He said he's stepping away from mainstream. It took DC Marvel for him to even consider doing something for it. And even then, he was just one of 3 co-writers.
And then the only thing he's doing that's technically DC is like the
Swamp Thing kills the children.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, but it's like, look, all you need is this, because and now Absolute Wonder Woman is helping getting more eyes on Wonder Woman. You just need to see. Okay, so the way I would test this is, let's see how the effect that that Absolute Wonder Woman has, if it has any, when King leaves. Because let's see if it's people want to read more, but they don't want to read King.
Yep.
Like, who knows? It could be that. We could get a big Wonder Woman resurgence. I still think we're leading to that. But anyway, I think that's a good place to leave it. So to rate Red Sonja, I'm giving this movie a solid 3.
I will agree with that.
It is such a 3 movie. Like, it is so below average.
Again, the only thing I gave it any merit is Arnold, because he's trying. Oh, yeah. I just realized, you know one of the most laughable things is?
What?
I remember Nostalgia Crate bring this up. At the very end, he's holding the rock so they don't get crushed on. And then what happens when they run? There's a big enough gap they could have waited behind it and just run through over it.
Exactly.
You remember? Did you notice that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, seriously?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like I would have given this movie a 5. But the kid made it a 3. But Dave has a very important question. Red Sonja or the 80s Supergirl movie? Oh, God.
The 80s Supergirl movie. There was more heart to that.
There
was more heart to that.
There was more. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one.
There was a lot more heart and trying compared to this.
But anyway, Robert, where can we find you and what we got coming out?
Got the link down below and not much coming out.
As for me, at 9:30, I think 9:30, Britt and I will be going live for a Super Wonder episode where we're going to talk about like Calvin Ellis, Val-Zod, and Nubia. We'll talk about the Ta-Nehisi Coates Superman movie. Wow, we're glad that didn't happen. And so we'll also be talking about the whole discussion on representation in general. And then let's see what else. And for Amazon Answers, I'm going to be talking about Wonder Woman's various looks in terms of the costumes and stuff. And yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. Stay heroic, everyone. And oh yeah, next week we're talking about the other Red Sonja movie. Bye, Cross.